Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Good morning, everyone. Okay, today is Sunday, March 6th. Sorry. It is going on 6 a.m. in the morning. And I saw this recall come out a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh, let me talk about this recall. But I'm also going to talk about like crude oil prices and the food outlook and and cars. So let's get started. So this is, let me click on the recall. This is Boyd Specialties LLC. It's a Colton, California establishment in my wheelhouse. They are recalling 1,634 pounds of ready-to-eat jerky products that may be alterated with listeria. Okay. It's early in the morning, so I clear my voice a lot. The multiple jerky products were produced on February 23rd, 2022. The products subject to the recall can be found. They gave us a list. Oh my goodness. There is like a 3-page list. Okay, let me go back. Looking at the label here so I can pull it up and show it to you guys. So I'm on my laptop right here and I have my phone recording. So, it's taking a long time for the label to come up. Let me see if I need to change. Yeah, I need to change my Wi-Fi. It'd be better if I change it to the Nest. Okay. So let me show you what the products look like. This is what it looks like. Oh my God, they got 83 because there's like a 3-page list of products. Gourmet brisket jerky, Ranch View Jerky Company, gourmet brisket beef, Humboldt's jerky. Oh my God. I'm just going to say, don't buy any jerky beef products right now. I mean, this manufacturer sold this to all type of brands. Look at this. And this is coming out of Colton, California. Wow. I mean, I'm showing you this. I'm going to stop because look, there are 83 pages or 83 pictures of products. Look at that. I'm on 33. I could keep going. Excuse me. Wow. And this is just not a mislabeling. This is listeria, you guys. Carne asada. Look at that. Let me see. I'm trying to. That's a huge label right there, you guys. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. It only goes down to 25. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's go back up. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, so a lot of these rate labels are starting to repeat themselves. Okay, 83 labels. This, oh my God. Okay, so it said the products subject to recall are, it says that multiple jerky products were produced on February 23rd. So this company, Boyd Specialties, I'm just going to stop right here, produces the beef product, the jerky product, and then they sell it. They put it up under all these different names. At least they voluntarily told us that it may have listeria. So it says the product subject to recall bear establishment number EST dot 40269 inside the USDA mark of inspection. These items were shipped to retail locations in Alabama, California, Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Texas. That's a lot of food. The problem was discovered by FSIS during follow-up procedures after a routine FSIS product sample confirmed positive for listeria. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to consumption of these products. Anyone concerned about an injury or illness should contact a healthcare provider. I'm going to come back in just a minute. It looks like I need to empty my phone. I don't want it to cut off, so I'll be back in a moment. I'm back. Okay, so it says, consumption of food contaminated with listeria can cause listeriosis, a serious infection that primarily affects older adults, persons with weakened immune systems, and pregnant women and their newborns. Less commonly, persons outside these risk groups are affected. Listeriosis can cause fever, muscle aches, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions, sometimes preceded by diarrhea and other gastrointestinal symptoms. An invasion infection spreads among the gastrointestinal tract. In pregnant women, the infection can cause miscarriages, stillbirths, premature delivery, or life-threatening infection of the newborn. In addition, serious and sometimes fatal infections in older adults and persons with weakened immune systems. Listeriosis is treated with antibiotics. Persons in the high-risk category who experience flu-like symptoms within 2 months after eating contaminated food should seek medical care and tell the healthcare provider about eating contaminated food. FSIS is concerned that some product may be in consumer pantries. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. Let's see here. Wow. And that is it. So again, let me see. Let me go down here. I'm going to say that the items were shipped to retail locations in Alabama, California, Connecticut, Michigan, North New Jersey, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Texas. So if you know someone or if you've bought in these jerky products, and I mean there are 83 labels. This manufacturer produces for a lot of companies. I'm just going to say go get your money back, or if you can't, throw it out. And if you've eaten anything, any jerky products after February 23rd, it says that they were produced on February 23rd. It doesn't say when they were shipped. So, if you've eaten any jerky products after February 23rd, I'm going to say, go get your money back. Throw it out. Please be careful. And I'm sorry it took me 2 days to bring this to you. Just had a busy weekend. I like to usually, as soon as I see the email come in, I like to, jump on it. So, yeah. And this was a recall from March 4th. And let me go and check and see if I have missed any other recalls. I don't think I have. There was one on March 1st, but I think I'm going to read it because I don't remember if I didn't get this to you guys. So, March 1st, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food Safety and Inspection is issuing a public health alert for various ready-to-eat meat products containing FDA-regulated seasoning mix that has been recalled by the producer, PS Seasonings of Iron Ridge, Wisconsin, due to concerns that the seasoning mix may contain undeclared wheat. I don't think I read this one. FSIS is issuing this public health alert to ensure that consumers are aware that these products should not be consumed. The situation is currently evolving, which means additional products may be added. Okay, I may be coming back with more. Please continue to check back for any possible updates. I'm just getting my tea here. So they're giving a full list of products. Yeah, I did not do this one. Don't know how I missed it. Let me show you. It's only one. Rocky Mountain General Store meat, sweet barbecue season, snack sticks. This is what it looks like. Usually it gives you more information, but this is what it looks like. Okay, sorry. Hand on the camera there. Products are from various establishments and bear establishment number EST.44972, EST.46312, EST.44869, or EST.47423 inside the USDA mark of inspection. Okay. The retail products from EST.M-47484 do not bear a USDA mark of inspection. Some of the products were distributed nationwide. It doesn't give a specific state, it just says nationwide. The problem was discovered when the FSIS inspected establishments received notification from their seasoning supplier that the seasoning mix, which is regulated by FDA, may contain undeclared wheat. The establishment then notified FSIS of the issue. FSIS and FDA are coordinating on this issue. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to consumption of these products. Anyone concerned about an illness should contact a healthcare provider. Consumers who have purchased these products are urged not to consume them. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. And they already showed the image. They give us a processing category. It says it's fully cooked, not shelf stable, heat treated, shelf stable meat. Okay. So that is 2 recalls. I'm happy I went further and checked on the list because I could have missed one. In the other one, I did talk about freaking Schmidt. I remember because I kept saying, freaking Schmidt. Sorry, that's not funny. Recalls are not funny. It's just that the name is funny. Okay, so let me move over to oil prices. I have said many times that I am a procurement professional, a manager. And so periodically throughout the year, I look for forecasts on supply chain issues. So this is from a website called thebalance.com. And it just gives little tidbits. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'm going to read some of their key takeaways. So, and some other little tidbits, notes throughout the article. So it says here, key takeaways. The EIA forecasts that Brent crude oil prices will average $82.87 a barrel in 2022. As we know, right now it's like over $100 a barrel. Okay, and the reason why I'm bringing this up because Led Farmer had been discussing when he went to get gas the other day, and he's been driving his dang it, I should have wrote it down, the name of his bike, which I think everybody should look into. And he mentioned how much his gas was. I get premium gas in California and in my area. I felt like cringing, and my car is paid for. I paid $5.89 for gas the other day. I was just under half. I paid $76. Just to let you know, in December, I started looking at other alternatives for vehicles. Me and my mom will not get rid of our cars because they're paid for. We'll just take care of them. But I have been looking at hybrid and all electric vehicles, and hopefully in the future, I will let you know what I have decided, or maybe you'll see a change. I don't know. Let you know. So back to this. WTI. Now, I don't know what EIA and WTI are. Let me look them up. What does EIA stand for? And I probably should know it. What does EIA stand for? I think it's energy something. Energy Information Administration. EIA. That's what that stands for. And WTI, I should know this stuff, but what does WTI stand for? And I probably seen it 100 million times. West Texas Intermediate. That's what I'm coming up with. Because what I've been reading is that Brent crude oil in West Texas are the gauges they use for monitoring crude oil. There's also OPEC, but OPEC is, all the nations together. So back to this. The key takeaways. Oil prices are rising due to an increase in demand and, of course, decrease in supply. OPEC is gradually increasing oil production after limiting it due to a decreased demand for oil during the pandemic. That's what it reads. Okay. Oh, and it gives you this. This is what I was saying. There are 2 grades of crude oil used as benchmarks for other prices, for oil prices. The West Texas Intermediate at Cushing and North Sea Brent. WTI at Cushing comes from the U.S. and is the benchmark for U.S. oil prices. North Sea Brent oil comes from Northwest Europe and is the benchmark for international oil prices. So that's what I'm saying. They use these 2 benchmarks to basically tell us and forecast oil prices. So here's another note. Oil prices are affected by several factors that include everything from weather to economic and political instabilities. Okay? Let's go down. Here's an important note. Future oil prices will depend greatly on innovations in energy, transportation, and other industries as societies work to become less fossil fuel dependent. So 4 reasons for today's volatile oil prices. Oil prices used to have a predictable seasonal swing. They spiked in the spring as oil traders anticipated high demand for summer vacation driving. Once demand peaked, prices dropped in the fall and winter. Oil prices are more volatile today due to many factors, but 4 are the most influential. Number 1, U.S. oil supply. I'm going to call it the vacation pandemic and natural events are still affecting oil demand and supply. The U.S. experienced a drop in production during Hurricane Ida in September as the storm shut at least 9 refineries. The EIA estimates that U.S. crude oil production will average 11.8 million BD. I believe that's barrel, B over D, barrel over demand, I believe, in 2022. Let me look it up just to make sure. What does B over D stand for? What does B over D in oil forecast stand for? Let's see. I think it's barrel over demand. Barrels per day. I was close. So B over D means barrels per day. That's what it means. The average barrel per day. Okay. Let me get back to this. So again, the EIA estimates that U.S. crude oil production will average 11.8 million barrels per day in 2022 and 12.41 million barrels per day in 2023. They're going all the way into 2023. That means it's going to increase more. But we knew this already. Number 2, diminished OPEC output. Oil price increases also reflect supply limitations by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and OPEC partner countries. In 2022, OPEC cut oil production due to decreased demand during the pandemic. It gradually increased oil output through 2021 and into 2022. Supply chain disruptions in late 2021 affected global trade as well. At its most recent meeting in December 2021, OPEC stated it will continue to gradually adjust oil production upward by 0.4 million barrels per day in January 2022. Number 3, I used to work for a natural gas company. Natural gas. Countries in Asia have relied on coal to generate power, but recent shortages have turned them to natural gas. Higher temperatures in parts of Asia and Europe, have led to high demand. Let me read that again. Higher temperatures in parts of Asia and Europe have led to high demand for natural gas to generate power. So probably air conditioning. So I'm going to call it the cocoa has hampered Europe's natural gas production, and a colder than expected heating season in early 2021 reduced supplies further. As a result, natural gas prices soared in 2021 and are expected to remain high in 2022, and affected countries have turned to gas to oil, switching to reduce power generation. Number 4, global inventory draw. As a reduction in oil production continues globally, countries are forced to draw from their stored reserves, not including the strategic petroleum reserves. And we have pulled from our reserves. This steady draw of oil is contributing to the increase in prices because inventories are decreasing. And they have a frequently asked questions. So it says here, how many gallons are in a barrel of oil? Very interesting. There are 42 gallons in each barrel of oil. Very interesting. So, yeah, that's the outlook. Prices are going to continue to rise. And the name of this article is Oil Prices Forecast 2022 through 2050. And this was released on March 5th, 2022. Okay? So This is just to prepare you for what's going on with oil. Okay. So I'm back to the USDA website looking at the food price outlook for 2022. And this is just a summary. So when I say things like CPI and PPI, CPI means the Consumer Price Index and PPI is the Producer Price Index. And this information for all types of categories for these indexes can be found on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. This is something that I use all the time for writing contracts and trying to hedge off rate increases for contracts. We want to hedge it off of the BLS. Sometimes we allow, depending on the product, we allow vendors to maybe hedge off and show us data on how their prices have increased, and then we can negotiate price adjustments on that. But this is something that people in corporations and purchasing use all the time. Let's see here. So the Consumer Price Index for food. The All Items Consumer Price Index is a measure of economic-wide inflation. It increased by 0.8% from December 2021 to January 2022 before seasonal adjustments, and up 7.5% from January 2021. That's a big increase. The CPI for all food increased 1% from December 2021 to January 2022, and food prices were 7% higher than January 2021. Okay. The level of food price inflation varies depending on whether the food was purchased for consumption away from home or at home. The food away from home, restaurant purchases, that CPI increased by 0.7% in January 2022 and was 6.4% higher than January 2021. The food at home, grocery or supermarket food purchases CPI increased 1.2% from December 2021 to January 2022 and was 7.4% higher than January 2021. Let me stop here. This is why we say grow your own groceries so you can try to hedge these prices. And I'm giving you recalls to show that there's a lot of problems with our food supply. This is why I'm giving you this information. So you can go to a restaurant, but their prices have increased 6.4%. But when you're going to the market, we're all seeing increases. They have increased by 7.4% from January last year. This is on the USDA website. This is where this is coming from. Okay. Food prices are expected to be between 20-year averages and the rapid increase observed during the pandemic. In 2022, food at home prices are predicted to increase between 2 to 3%, and food away from home prices are predicted to increase between 4 and 5%. Price increases for food away from home are expected to exceed historical averages and be similar to the inflation rate in 2021. Upward pressures on meat prices are expected to ease in the later half of 2022. But this is just a prediction. That it says it's expected to ease, not necessarily so. So right now they're reviewing historical data. Let me go down. So it's not telling me what month it was written in, but it says CPI forecast changes this month. Let me look at the bottom. It says, sees it. Oh, February 2025. So this was just last month. Let me see. Let me go back up. Okay. The ranges for 8 food categories as well as for 3 aggregate categories were revised upward this month. So they're revising forecasts to trend upward. Forecast ranges for fish and seafood, dairy products, fats and oils, fresh fruits, processed fruits and vegetables, cereals and bakery products, non-alcoholic beverages, and other foods, as well as the aggregate categories of all food, food away from home, and food at home were revised upward. No food categories were revised downward. Everything is going up. And I love bread. I'm going to have to start making my own bread again. The large increases in all food, food away from home, and food at home prices in January were driven by price increases for many products. While prices for the aggregate category of meats decreased, prices for 11 disaggregate food categories increased by more than 1%. All food prices are now predicted to increase between 2.5 to 3.5%. Food away from home prices are predicted to increase between 4 to 5%, and food at home prices are predicted to increase between 2 to 3% in 2022. Now, when you say 2 to 3%, you may think that's not a lot. That is an average. Average it out for all the states in the United States, period. That means, like in California, we've seen a huge increase. It hasn't been 2 to 3%. It's probably been like 5 to 7%. They are averaging all the states, all the counties, all the cities together. Think about that, okay? Something to think about. An average can range a lot. So, okay, let me see. I have like a little air right here that I don't want to come up. Sorry. Fish and seafood prices have continued. Let me say that again. It didn't sound right. Fish and seafood prices have continued to rise by 1.3% in January 2022, due in large part to a 2.4% increase in the price of fresh fish and seafood. Fish and seafood prices are predicted to increase between 3.5 to 4.5% in 2022. Let's see. Rapid increases in the consumption of dairy products have driven increases in retail prices in recent months. This trend continued in January 2022 with a 1.4% increase in the prices for dairy products. Dairy product prices are predicted to increase between 2.5 to 3.5% in 2022. And I want to go back to what I said before. This is an average, but you also have to put in the average like for fish and seafood. Not every state or every place in the world produces or catches fish and seafood. So you have, not only are you not looking at the 50 states, you're looking at the global production and everything. So you have to put all these factors into averaging. So 2 to 3% may seem very low, but there is a lot of factors and a lot of averages that go up and down. So you have to put all that, you have to consider all of that. Okay. Following large price increases in January, forecast ranges for fats and oils, fresh fruits, processed fruits and vegetables, cereal and bakery products, non-alcoholic beverages, and other foods have been adjusted upward. Fat and oil prices are predicted to increase between 3 and 4%. Fresh fruit prices are predicted to increase between 2 and 3%. Processed fruit and vegetable prices are predicted to increase between 2.5 to 3.5%. Cereal and bakery product prices are predicted to increase between 2 and 3%. Non-alcoholic beverage prices are predicted to increase between 1.5 and 2.5%, and other food prices are predicted to increase between 1.5 and 2.5% in 2022 compared to 2021. Now they're going into the PPI, Producer Price Index, for food. Take a swig of water here, sorry. I put vitamins in my water this morning. Excuse me. So it goes into a little bit of the PPI. So our Producer Price Index resembles a CPI in that it reflects price changes over time. However, instead of retail prices, PPI provides a measure of the average prices paid to domestic producers for their output. PPIs are reported for nearly every industry in the goods producing sector of the economy. Three major PPI commodity groups are of interest to food markets: unprocessed food stocks and feedstuffs, formerly called crude foodstuffs and feedstuffs; processed foods and feeds, formerly called intermediate food and feeds; and finished consumer foods. These groups give a general sense of price movements across various stages of production in the U.S. food supply chain. And that's something else you have to think. Yeah, food prices are predicted to go up. What about the people that are producing and manufacturing the food that's sold at markets and sold to restaurants? Okay, that's another factor. The PPI measures of changes in farm and wholesale prices are typically far more volatile than the downstream CPIs, which is Consumer Price Index. See, CPIs looks at the consumer, the prices for the consumer. PPIs looks at the prices for the producers, the manufacturers, how they produce the food, what they're doing to produce the food, how much it's going to cost. Then they have to ship it. Remember this. All of this is going up. Price volatility decreases as products move from the farm to the wholesale sector to the retail sector. Consumer, we're the retail. Because of multiple processing stages in the U.S. food system, the CPI typically lags movements in the PPI. The PPI is thus a useful tool for understanding what may soon happen to the CPI. This is very important for you guys to kind of understand this stuff. Well, maybe not all of you, but I have to understand it. The USDA Economic Research Service does not forecast. Okay, we're going to skip that. PPI forecast changes this month. PPI forecast ranges for farm level cattle, wholesale beef, wholesale poultry. This is why a lot of people are growing chickens. And farm level fruits were revised upward this month. Forecast ranges for wholesale pork and farm level vegetables were revised downward. That's one thing. So that's kind of a good thing. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Farm level cattle prices have mirrored beef prices, which were 22.8 and 43.9% higher in January 2022. Like I said, there are many factors for prices rising. We're looking at the Consumer Price Index. Oh, it's only 2 to 3%. But the people producing it are going up almost 50% higher, 22.8 to 43.9% higher. Okay? Producers have to be paid for producing the food and getting it to the market and to the restaurant. So 22%, okay, percent higher in January 2022 than in January 2021, respectively. Higher global demand for U.S. beef has driven price increases in this sector. Farm level cattle prices are predicted to increase between 7.5 and 10.5% in 2022. Wholesale beef prices are predicted to increase between 4.5 and 7.5%. Wholesale pork prices decreased by 4.3% in January 2022, but remain 3.3% above January 2021 prices. Wholesale pork prices are now predicted to increase between 0.0 and 3% in 2022. So they said it was a downward trend in pork and vegetable, but not really. Okay, it's still going to be an increase. Let's see, take another swig here. Wholesale poultry prices increased by 3.1% from December 2021 to January 2022, with decreasing levels of chicken, meat, and cold storage. Wholesale poultry prices are now predicted to increase between 4 and 7% in 2022. Farm level fruit prices increased by 3.9%, while farm level vegetable prices increased by 3.4% from December 2021 to January 2022. Farm level fruit prices are now predicted to increase between 1 and 4% in 2022, and farm level vegetable prices are predicted to increase between 0 to 3% in 2022. And that is it. And this was last updated on February, and I give you the day, Friday, February 25th, 2022. So that is the forecast of our food prices. I hope you were able to learn a little bit between the consumer price index and the producer price index and how they work together. Let's talk about cars. And I'm trying to see, this was released. This is by J.D. Power. And it's a press release. The title of the article is New Vehicle Sales in January Constrained by Historic Low Inventory, Transaction Prices, and Retailer Profit Maintained Record Levels. So it says, the retail sales forecast. I can't talk this morning. The retail sales forecast. New vehicle retail sales for January 2022 are expected to decline when compared to January 2021, according to a joint forecast by J.D. Power and LMC Automotive. Retail sales of new vehicles this month are expected to reach 828,900 units. That is an 8.3% decrease compared to January 2021. Okay. Total sales forecast. Let me see. Total new vehicle sales for January 2022, including retail and non-retail transactions, are projected to reach 932,100 units. That is a 15.6% decrease in January 2021. Basically, they're telling you they're having a supply chain problem. Let's see. Sorry, got air here. So sorry. The seasonal adjusted annualized rate, SAAR, SAAR, for total new vehicle sales is expected to be 14.1 million units down, which is going to be down 2.6 million units from 2021. The takeaways from this. So this is coming from Thomas King, the president of the Data and Analytics Division of J.D. Power. Despite optimism towards the end of 2021, that diminishing supply chain disruption would result in more vehicles being delivered to dealerships, the new vehicle supply situation has shown no meaningful improvement. January month-end retail inventory is expected to be below 1 million units for the 8th consecutive month. The volume of new vehicles being delivered to dealerships in January has been insufficient to meet strong consumer demand, resulting in a significantly diminished sales pace. He went on to say, when vehicles are delivered to dealers, they sell quickly. A rising proportion of those vehicles have been ordered by consumers in advance. This month, nearly 53% of vehicles will be sold within 10 days of arriving at the dealership. While the average number of days a new vehicle is in a dealer's possession before being sold is on pace to be 19 days, down from 51 days a year ago. They're selling quickly. With consumer demand still exceeding supply, new vehicle prices continue to be at record levels. Average transaction prices are expected to reach a January record of $44,905. Don't expect to be buying cars for $20,000 anymore. Inventory shortages are resulting in even fewer inventory offers from manufacturers. The average manufacturer incentive spend per vehicle is on pace to be $1,319, a decrease from $2,163 from a year ago. Expresses a percentage of the average vehicle MSRP. Incentives for January are trending toward a record low of 2.9%, down nearly 5.2%. Down nearly 5.2 percentage points from a year ago, and the first time below 3%. So he goes on to say, despite lower volumes, higher prices mean that consumers are on track to spend a healthy $37.2 billion on new vehicles this month, the highest on record for the month of January and 10% above January 2020. Dealers are continuing to benefit from high transaction prices, with total retailer profit per unit, inclusive of grosses and finance and insurance income, being on pace to reach $5,138, an increase of $2,969 from a year ago, in the 4th consecutive month above $5,000. The gains in per unit profit are offsetting the drop in sales volume, as the total aggregate retailer profit from new vehicle sales is projected to be up 117% from January 2021, reaching $4.3 billion. So, even though supply is low, demand is high, the dealerships are still making money because the prices are, they're making their money. Record new vehicle record. I can't get it together. Record new vehicle prices are being supported by exceptionally strong used vehicle prices. As new vehicle buyers benefit from more equity on their trade-in vehicles, the average trade-in equity for January is trending towards $9,852, an increase of $4,611 from a year ago. Also, interest rates are favorable when compared with the year ago. The average interest rate for loans in January is expected to decrease 14 basis points to 4.14%. Even lower interest rates and increased trade-in values. The average monthly finance payment is on pace to hit a record high for the month of January of $669, up $73 from January 2021. Boy, let's see. Although the start of 2022 is disappointing from a sales standpoint, the underlying health metrics of the industry have never been stronger. Looking forward to February, the overall industry sales pace will continue to be constrained by procurement. my field, production and distribution, and all indications are that deliveries will not rise substantially for the industry in aggregate. This means February will likely be another month of suppressed sales volume offset by near record level pricing and profitability. So here are the details. Bullet point number 1, the average new vehicle retail price in January is expected to reach $44,905. The previous high for any month was $45,283, and this was set in December 2021. Bullet point number 2. Good grief. The average incentive spending per unit in January is expected to reach $1,319, a fall down from $3,482 in January 2021. Spending as a percentage of the average MSRP is expected to fall 2.9%, down 5.2 percentage points from January 2021. Average incentive spending per unit on trucks, SUVs in January is expected to be $1,310, down $2,202 from a year ago, while the average spending on cars is expected to be $1,353, down from $2,019 from a year ago. Buyers are on pace to spend $38.2 billion on new vehicles, up $4.4 billion from January 2021. Trucks and SUVs are on pace to account for a record 80.1% of new vehicle retail sales in January. Fleet sales are expected to total 103,200 units in January, down 48.6% from January 2021 on a selling day adjusted basis. Fleet volume is expected to account for 11% of total light vehicle sales, down from 18% a year ago. And there's a global sales outlook, but I'm not going to get into that. Talks about Asia and China and everything else. So, basically, we are in a serious inflationary period when it comes to supply chain and all consumer products. Basically, grow your own food, look at your budget, see how you can cut cost. I'm going to say watch Tommy Homestead. She has a couple of channels. Watch Lead Farmer. He's telling you how to make your own vinegar. Watch me. I say watch me because I'm always coming with recalls and other supply chain information from time to time. Learn how to grow in the house. Learn how to do your hydroponics. There are a lot of YouTubers out there that are giving you a lot of information, and I'm going to say it's going to be in your best interest to look at it, to stockpile, to find a way to hedge off, to save your pocketbook. Another YouTuber I want to discuss is Ernie Hatmaker. Every Sunday she comes and she tells you about new YouTubers that she's noticing. Please go look at this sister's channel. She's very good. People like the New Orleans Gardener, T-Nog, Cali Homesteading and Pooh Bear. GT grows it in Alaska. He's doing his thing up there. Juicing with Jay. I think it's the Sunday Gardener. It's a lot of YouTubers out there that aren't just doing gardening, but giving you ways to save money and giving you precautionary tales like me on the supply chain and recalls and things to watch out for. So I just urge you to please
be cautious and listen to this information. Everything I just told you, this is from different websites, USDA websites, recalls, urging you on gas, urging you on other stuff. It's time, it's been time for all of us to start researching other ways to have energy. Lead Farmer tells us about our generators and other good information. So I'm just going to urge you to watch us. I hope you found some very useful information in this video. Hopefully I will come back to you later with some hydroponic stuff today. And as I always say, please find peace within yourself and please be peaceable with each other. I love you all. This is why I come to you with this information. I love you all. Please try to have a beautiful and blessed Sunday. Bye, everyone.